Welcome to CABA Connects, a bi-weekly podcast that introduces you to outstanding members of the Carrollwood Area Business Association, CABA. Today, you will hear from one of our many CABA voices who share their experience in business and business networking. Enjoy learning more about CABA and our members here at CABA Connects.
Hi, this is Sharon Conklin with Beasley Media Group.
Greetings and welcome to our first series of our new podcast, CABA Connects. Every other week, we will be highlighting our incredible members and providing insight into their success with CABA and beyond. So today we want to welcome our very first guest, Steve Vigil. Steve is a professional real estate agent with Remax ACR Elite Group since 1996. He says if you're going to be good, anything, do it for a long time. If anything, you'll get better at it by default. Besides real estate, he's been associated with other groups for many years, like the Carrollwood Area Business Association, which we dearly refer to as CABA, real estate coaching, a daily mastermind group with 18 powerful salespeople, and Tampa Toastmasters, just to name a few. Today he's going to share with us a few things that work for him, and maybe it can work for you too. So please welcome our guest today, Mr. Steve Vigil.
Hello, Sharon, and hello, everybody in CABA land. I'm excited to be here.
Well, we're happy to have you here.
All right.
Yes, you're a great choice for our first guest. So the burning question that we have right now for you, Steve, is what has CABA meant for you and your business?
Wow, that's the burning question. Well, after 23 years of being in CABA, I think the biggest thing about CABA is the friendship. I've built so many friends from CABA. It seems like you see people and it's like, how you doing? What's going on? But I'll tell you, at the beginning, when I was going to CABA early in time, where everybody used to hug and they kiss, and I'd come home with lipstick all over my cheeks and my collar. My wife was saying, hey, what's going on at that place? You come home with lipstick. So I got in trouble a little bit every once in a while. But I'll tell you, after all these years, I have helped multiple people in CABA sell their homes, or they refer me other business. So it's the friendship that you build, and after a while, they start knowing you, they know what you do, and you get more business out of them by default.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. And those long-lasting friendships that are developed through CABA as well.
Yes, absolutely.
Not just business relationships. So, Steve, how have you adapted your business throughout the pandemic?
Oh, the pandemic. It seems like everybody closed down for a while, but the biggest thing that I know that worked for me and everybody I know is communication. We kept communicating with each other. And even today, we're communicating with people still on Zoom, but we're really working hard to get back to the real live in-person events. I mean, people they're aching to get back in public again. But you know what? What we did learn from the pandemic was, that part on Zoom or all the communications that we did way back then, it was actually kind of nice. Right?
Absolutely.
It's kind of nice to get online and you associate with people all over the world. I remember one time we even had communications with my whole family on a Zoom call. That was fantastic from all over the country. So that part of it is good in a sense where we can continue that even today, because it's nothing, it's one thing talking to somebody on the phone, but talking to them, you can see the other person. That's another level. But of course, in person is always the best way. So communication is the best way for what we learned in the pandemic.
And let me ask you this.
Yes.
What do you feel is the real advantage for you to being a CABA member?
The real advantage. Well, see, CABA is approximately 400 business owners. And there's always been a huge number of people. We all strive to do the same thing. When I go to the CABA events, I always try to tell them, hey, remember CABA first. And for years and years and years, we even pushed that campaign, CABA first. And what that means is go online to the CABA website and see who you need in whatever you need currently. Like if you need a plumber, or if you need somebody in media, or if you need a photographer, a real estate agent like myself, whatever you need, go to CABA, and there's lots of resources there. So go to CABA first. Now, here's the interesting thing that's happened that I think that everybody can benefit for that's listening to this. There's like an unwritten law. It's the law of reciprocity, right? People reciprocate by giving you business when you give them business. I mean, it's not always business all the time either. For example, I was driving down the street one day and I was dressed up in a suit and everything was fine, but somebody had a flat tire in front of me. And I'm thinking to myself, it's starting to sprinkle. I'm like, okay, I'm not in a big rush, but I'll go stop and I'll help them, right? I helped her change her tire. It's no big deal, right? It was easy for me, but not easy for her. Well, what happened was later on, I got a call from these folks and they wanted me to help them sell their house. I'm like, oh my gosh, because this is what happens. People feel compelled. If you help them, they feel compelled to help you back. CABA. Let's go back to CABA. Now, there's so many businesses. Okay, so I need a plumber or something, right? Because I sell a lot of real estate and I have a lot of services that I need sometimes. So I'll go online and I'll look, okay, which plumber can help me now? Well, I give them some business. I call them up and say, hey, listen, we need this done. They go out and take care of it. And then later on, they'll say, well, you know what? There's somebody giving me business, so I'm going to shoot some business their way. So that's what I'm talking about. If everybody would go to their sources first, right? And sometimes I always say to people, don't expect to have business back. Just you give and all of a sudden you start receiving back. And it doesn't work with everybody. Don't expect business back. But when you give things, people just automatically, I don't know, they might feel like they owe you something even though they don't, but they want to give you something back.
Absolutely.
So
right.
So you give them some business, and like right here, the School of Rock, I mean, this place is fantastic. Bring some people here. Next thing you know, all of a sudden they think, where are all these people coming from? Well, and then they hear of something in your business, and they wouldn't mind shooting your name out another direction. See, that's what helps in this kind of business, and that's why being a CABA member will help everybody, and you got to just give business to the people that you associate with. That's what everybody's there for. Think of CABA first. Next thing you know, you get business. Out of 23 years of doing this, oh gosh, I can't tell you how many hundreds of people have given me business back. And they always know they can call me for anything, even a question. If they have questions about real estate, estates, or somebody died, what happens? Or next thing you know, I'm on a podcast or a radio show like this. Who knows what's going to happen next? But so always give to your community first, and inevitably it'll give back to you.
That's right. I agree with that, Steve. You can't be looking at what you're going to get back.
No,
but it's
never.
good to give.
After a while, it doesn't matter anymore. And you just get business out of, like I was saying earlier, out of default, you get business. You give and you get. That's the
That's
law
a
of
great lesson that we
reciprocation.
learned. Yeah. Well, we thank you so much for joining us today, our first guest on CABA Connects. And if you have any real estate needs, please reach out to Steve, 813-263-6092, and be listening for our next CABA Connects coming very soon.
Thank you for joining us for our CABA Connects podcast. And thank you to today's guest. We trust that you learned from our CABA member, and we hope you would not hesitate to refer business to them. Please follow us on social media at #CABA Connects. And please refer us to business owners who are looking to grow their business with CABA, the best business address in Tampa Bay. Join us in 2 weeks when we'll introduce another one of our fantastic CABA members. Thank you for connecting with CABA.